All right, welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here, and in this video I want to talk about the magic pill of underthinking. If you're a person that generally tends to overthink things, and it might be difficult for you to take action because you're constantly thinking about this and thinking about that, then this video is going to help you finally start implementing things, finally start executing, because we all know execution is the only way that gets the results, right? So if you're watching this channel, this is your first video of watching this channel, or maybe even multiple videos that you've already watched, then you probably like the idea of being free, of being your own boss, and being able to travel the world with your own online business. But there's also a chance that you haven't started yet because you overthink. So this video is gonna have you go from overthinking and under-executing to underthinking and actually executing properly. If this sounds like something cool, then pay attention, let's get started.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you, so here's to your freedom.
All right, let's talk about the negative effects of overthinking, because what overthinking almost always results in is a paralysis, all right? An inability to take action. And that's why I said in the beginning, maybe you've been entertaining the thought a lot of becoming your own boss, but because you're overthinking the possible outcomes of a possible outcome of a possible outcome, you've never really started doing anything. And you're derping around, following the influencers on Instagram and listening to some podcasts without actually implementing any of these things. And that's a very bad spot to be in. And that paralysis usually manifests itself in certain things like, oh, it's not the right time yet, right? Maybe you've heard yourself saying that, or a friend of yours. What other manifestation there is, oh, I'm not good enough for that yet. It's not the perfect timing. I need to be perfectionist, right? I'm a perfectionist. Usually these are just justifications of overthinking, right? Because it's nice to say I'm a perfectionist and therefore I haven't taken action yet. You're sweet talking things here, right? And you got to be aware of the effect of that paralysis, of that sweet talking that you're doing to yourself, because what you're doing is you're gathering momentum of being stagnant, all right? Options that are motionless, they want to remain motionless until a strong outside force comes in that literally makes the object move, and then you get positive momentum. So you see where I'm getting here. When you're overthinking things, you get paralysis, and you get paralysis, you're gathering momentum of being stagnant, of not moving, and that in and of itself is a very bad thing. And then you'll end up needing a stronger outside force to, shake you awake until you start taking the first action and then the second action. And once the ball is rolling, things are much more easy, all right? And then you can start taking action, you're getting your first results. Now here's the interesting thing, and this is something that we teach our beginner clients in our beginner programs often, that is the following. Really, try to write the following sentence down. Don't try to fix problems that don't exist yet. This is a very good little quick fix I can give you that helps you overcome overthinking, because oftentimes when people start out with us, they say, oh, I can't do this yet because, what if this is going to happen? And then maybe I'll have this problem. And if I get started, I might not have enough time to do that. What if I have all these clients and then I'll be overwhelmed? And then what is this going to think? And what am I going to do with my job? And we usually tend to say the following things. Don't try to fix problems that don't exist yet, okay? And one of the first rules of entrepreneurship is fix problems that do exist. There's enough problems that you probably have right now that need fixing. So don't try to now fix problems that are not even there yet, all right? This is, again, overthinking. I can't do this because what if this happens, and then as the end result I will have this. These problems don't exist yet, so don't try to fix them. Try to fix the one problem that you have right now, which is maybe your 9-to-5 job that you hate, your lack of freedom that you hate, not the type of income that you would like to have, right? These are problems that are very real right now. Try fixing those, and the other small little fires that get started, you can take those out as they come, all right? But it's important for you to start taking action, because what you got to realize is zero actions means zero results, means zero money for you, and means there's no progress happening, right? So there's actually a way where you can start taking action, so you start getting first results, so you gain positive momentum, and you're already being able to get paid, which is what we're going to talk about now. Hey, let's talk about the next point about how to fix overthinking, and that is understanding where overthinking actually comes from. Overthinking comes from a distrust in yourself. All right, and I'm not talking about this in a bad way, like, oh, haha, you can't even trust yourself. It's completely normal to not trust in yourself if you're starting something new. So you want to build your own business, but you cannot trust if any execution will get you there. You cannot trust that you're good enough. You cannot trust that you're smart enough to actually make it work, right? Of course not, because you've never done it before. In fact, when I started building a business, I didn't trust in myself either. When I'm trying anything new, martial arts, I didn't trust in myself either until I started taking action. Right? So the very easy quote-unquote fix of that is to trust in a proven process, right? While you might not be able to trust in yourself and your implementation and execution, trust in a proven process that have gotten people that are similar to you already results as well. Maybe even people that are worse off than you, they've gotten that results, right? And there are proven processes out there. Again, if you talk about the goal of making your first $10,000 a month, it's not something impossible. It's not like people have never done this before, all right? We're not talking about the 5-minute mile here or something like that. It has happened before and has probably been done before by people that are below average or worse off than you. So if you trust in that process, what you can do now is, instead of trusting yourself, you trust in your process, you can take action. And once you're taking action, you will inevitably start getting your first results, because all you're doing is you implement a proven process, right? You're actually underthinking instead of overthinking. Right? Instead of thinking about this and thinking about that, you just shut off the thinking and you implement these things. You execute. Instead of having doubts, I don't know if it's going to work, you can see this process has worked before, so all I got to do is shut off my brain and execute these steps. And then slowly but steadily, as you're getting results, what happens is you start trusting in yourself, because all of a sudden you see, hey, if I take the right action, even a person like me can get the corresponding results. Ergo, you start to become more confident in things and you're starting to get more and more results. And therefore, you turned overthinking into underthinking, you turned underthinking into taking action. And this is the interesting part. I actually just watched a video by Alex Becker, cool guy, and he talked about how difficult it is to teach a beginner, right? He says like, oh, he doesn't want to teach beginners anymore because it's very difficult. And I agree, right? If I look at our beginner clients that are joining our beginner programs, and if I look at our advanced guys and girls that are doing the advanced programs, beginners are much more difficult, because what you have to do is you have to change the person. Right? You have to change their mindset, you have to change their habits, you have to change their way of living, which is why our programs in the beginning phases work so well, because we simply give the people no error, no room for error. We simply say, do exactly these things. You don't have to be creative, you don't have to start thinking about possible solutions, just do exactly these things. Just do that exact, very narrow but proven process. And in all honesty, I might admit too, it's a very boring process. But at the end of the day, it gets you these very needed first results, so you can start believing in yourself, right? And that is why I think that's the beauty about teaching beginners, is if you leave them very little room for error, you just press them through this narrow pipeline, they get from point A to point B, there's just no way out. They can only get to these results as long as they keep being pushed into this one direction. And yeah, that brings you again from overthinking to implementation, trusting the proven process, to via underthinking, to your first results. And then from those first results, you start getting more and more confident, which will make it more easily for you to get more results. All right, so far so good. Now, if you haven't done so yet, give me a follow on my Instagram. This is very important because I'm posting daily value nuggets on there. I'm doing live streams multiple times per week, and I'm replying to all DMs. At least I'm trying to reply to all DMs. I'm getting quite a bunch of those nowadays. But so if you kind of want to get in touch with me, you can also check out my Instagram. I'm going to link it down in the description below as well. So what you got to understand is the following: apply underthinking instead of overthinking, because underthinking results in immediate action taking, aka the implementation of a proven process. Once you're doing that, you're starting to get small results, meaning you're gaining momentum of actually taking action. At the same time, you're getting more and more belief in yourself. And most importantly, you can still do adjustments along the way, okay? To talk to the perfectionist within you, please don't think you got to be perfectly prepared for everything, because this is the real world, okay? There's always going to be unforeseen circumstances. There's always going to be black swan events where you don't know how to handle these things. So there's always going to be smaller fires that are going to start that you then just have to take out, right? And that's not a big issue. Don't try to fix problems that don't exist yet. Slowly adjust the things as you're taking action, as you're gaining momentum, as you're learning, and most importantly, if you do it right, as you're already getting paid. right? Because you're not getting paid by waiting and preparing yourself. You can get paid as you're learning, and that is the by far best way to get started. And that is also what we're doing with our clients, so they can get started, they can get positive momentum. And again, we make sure that we push them through this very rigid, boring, but proven process that can get them to these results. And all you have to do in that case is adhere to underthinking and over-implementation of these things, as opposed to overthinking and not implementing anything. Because you're not watching this here, hopefully, to just titillate your brain. I hope you're not watching any of this just to think. I hope you're watching these things to kind of get like this first impulse to take action. And a great way to start taking that impulse into action is to book a free consulting call, either with me directly or with an expert from our team. There's a link down in the description below. You can book that call. It takes you 2 minutes to fill out that application, and then you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. And on that call, we check what your mindset is, we check what your goals are, we check what your options are in your specific situation, and how you then can take action from there, the exact steps that you can take, customized to your situation. If you then also say you want to become our client, we can do that as well. We can discuss all that on the free consulting call. Call is, like I said, entirely for free, so it's pretty much a no-brainer. Only catch is we can only do so many calls a day, obviously, so we have very limited spots. So the way this works is you click on the link down in the description below, or the link that appears somewhere here right now, and it brings you to a page. You can read through the page if you want to have a little bit more information. And at the bottom of that page, you fill out the application. Like I said, it takes you 2 minutes, and then you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. So don't be an overthinker. If anything, be an underthinker and implement the right things, because only action taking will get you the results at the end of the day. Now, this is one thing that I've always stood for. This is one thing that I've always had going for me. I feel like if I look back to my own life, I might have never been the smartest, I might have never been the best prepared, but if anything, I just out-executed everybody, and that's what brought me here, and that's what brought me to my very first successful business back in the days with the dating advice business. That has helped me create the biggest brand, the fastest growing brand, become one of the most lucrative instructors, as well as helping me now, helping all our clients getting all these results, because we're focused on action taking. I'm not a big believer in preparing yourself too much. I'm a big believer in learning as you go, adjusting along the way, and having real life experience and experiments, actually, both, much over just overthinking things, right? So at the end of the day, I want to thank you very much if you've been part of my journey for a while. If you've allowed me to be part of your journey, even if it's just a tiny little bit, really thank you from the bottom of my heart for that, because life is absolutely amazing, and it allows me to crush it together with you. So I really, really appreciate that. So if you haven't booked a call yet, now is a good time to do that. Maybe talk to you very, very soon. And thank you. Bye-bye.
2 days ago, I closed my first client, and it's all because Max and his team. This program, it's the most amazing program. If you trust the process and you do it exactly how they say it, you will make it. So I know that from now on, from this moment, I did my first clients, but it won't be the last. So thank you, the FBM family. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for giving me the right guidance.